It is time to get real, and by that I mean systems and real world problems. Essential question: how can we solve a real world problem using systems of equations? Let's get to it. First off, when doing these problems, step 1, read the problem and identify the important information. Step 2, define the variables that you will use to solve the problem. Step 3, write 2 equations using your variables and the information from the problem. And then step 4, if needed, solve the system using any method of your choice. We've been doing graphing or substitution. Let's move on to example 1. As we go, underline important information with me. Billy has $20. He has 20 bucks. That sounds important. And he saves $2 each week. That goes with Billy. Then I have Sally, it looks like over here. So Sally has $15 and saves $3 each week. How many weeks will it take for both of them to have the same amount of money? All right, looks like we have some important info. Let's define our variables. What's going on here? Well, the question is asking us how many weeks, and we don't know, and they're saving each week, so that seems like a good variable. Let's let W equal the number of weeks. Now, the second part of the question here is having the same amount of money. We need to know how much money each person has. So let's let T equal the total amount of money that each person is going to have. Let's move down to these equations, and let's see how these were formed. So Billy has some money. The total amount of money, T, equals $2 for every week, plus the $20 that he has already. Billy's total money equals the $2 per week. That's why we multiplied by 2. Plus the $20 that he starts with, plus 20. So 1 week would be 2 times 1 plus 20. 2 weeks would be 2 times 2 plus 20. Sally, it looks like we have a very similar situation. Sally's total money equals $3 per week. That's the 3W. Plus the $15 that she starts with. That's 3W plus 15 equals the total amount of money. Now we have a system of equations here. We took both of those equations and we set up our system. T equals 2W plus 20, T equals 3W plus 15. Each equation is already solved for T, so we can choose either one to substitute. We already have an isolated variable, T. We're going to substitute 2W plus 20 in for T of that second equation. So we just took that 2W plus 20, and we're going to plug that in for the T in the second equation. So we have, instead of T, 2W plus 20 equals 3W plus 15. And that was our second. We plugged that into the second equation. Now we can solve this just like any other equation. I see a variable on both sides of the equal sign. I don't want that. Let's subtract 2W from each side of the equation. That's going to cancel out this 2W. Then we have 3W minus 2W is 1W, leaving 20 equals W plus 15. We still need to get the W by itself, so we're going to subtract 15 from each side. Minus 15 minus 15. Those are going to cancel out, leaving us with W equals 5. And since the question was asking how many weeks, and we've solved for W, which represents weeks, we know it will take 5 weeks for Billy and Sally to have the same amount of info. Since the variable W represents weeks, we have solved the problem. We could find out how much money we wanted if we wanted to plug that W back in, but since they didn't ask us, we're done here. Moving on to example number 2. We're going to set up a system for the situation below. It says we do not need to solve So we just need to figure out what's going on and go from there. Let's read it. The sum, that sounds important, the sum of the ages of Andre and Lynn is 38. So we have Andre and Lynn. The sum of their ages, if we add those up, we get 38. The difference in their ages is 12. So if we subtract them, we get 12. They're asking, they say that Andre is older than Lynn. How old is he? Let's make our variables. Well, we've got two people. We don't know what their ages are. So let's let X equal Andre's age, the older one, and let Y equal Lynn's age. Those are the two things we don't know. We're adding them together. We're subtracting them. Those would be good variables. That gives us these equations below. We have the sum, X plus Y, Andre's age plus Lynn's age, equals 38. The sum of the ages is 38. We also have the difference, X minus Y, equals 12. So the difference in the ages is 12. And we put X first because we know Andre is older. Now we've got a system here. We can take both of those equations, put them together. X plus Y equals 38, that's the sum. X minus Y equals 12, that's the difference. We could solve this if we wanted to know what Andre and Lynn's ages are, but we don't need to do that. So we're done here. Last example, example number 3. Here we also want to set it up. We don't need to solve here. They're not making us. Tanya buys a burger and 3 orders of French fries, spending a total of $12. All right, this seems important. It looks like we've got Tanya. She buys 1 burger and 3 orders of French fries. She must love French fries. And the total is $12. We then have Joel. Joel buys a burger, 1 burger, and 1 order of French fries, spending a total of $8. They're asking, how much does a burger cost and how much does an order of fries cost? All right, so we know their orders. I like looking at the question here because it helps us define our variables a lot. We want to know the cost of a burger. We don't know it, so let's let B equal the cost of a burger. We also want to know how much an order of fries cost, so let's let F represent the cost for an order of French fries. Let's check these equations out and see how they were set up. Tanya she buys 1 burger, that's 1B, plus 3 orders of fries, that's plus 3 fries, equals that total of $12. Joel buys 1 burger and 1 fries for a total of 8. So we have the 1 burger plus 1 fries equals 8. And now that we have both of these equations set up, that's our system right here. Both those equations put together. If we solved this system for B and F, we would know the cost of a burger and know the cost of a fries, but the important focus on this problem was just setting up the equations and then putting them together. Take a few minutes to write your summary answering the essential question on top. Remember to include details about how you do things, not just writing what you learned about. I hope this video was helpful.